Good afternoon friends, this is Shivam and today I'm going to explain you what is AWS Autoscaling and how to use this feature in AWS. Now before moving towards the actual implementation part, what I'm going to do is cover some theory. So the first question arises, what is AWS Autoscaling? Now AWS Autoscaling is a feature that allows us to scale our Amazon EC2 instances out or down automatically according to the load pattern. Say for example, we can expand the number of Amazon EC2 instances from 1 to the maximum limit automatically during the load peaks, that is the scale out. And similarly, we can reduce the number of Amazon EC2 instances from the maximum limit to 1 automatically during load valleys, that is scale down feature. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see here my EC2 instance is running, which I have connected it with the MySQL database, which that is the RDS, what we call it RDS in AWS. So the first thing that we're going to do is we'll create an Amazon machine image of our EC2 instance. Now what is Amazon machine image? An Amazon machine image is basically a template that contains the software configuration, which includes operating system, then the application servers and several applications. So for creating an Amazon machine image, what we'll do is we'll select this server. As we have selected, we'll go into actions, we'll go into image and create an image. So here the image name, so whatever name you want to give to this image, I'll be naming it as server1 AMI. After this, you have to just go to create image. So the image is created. You can see here in the image section at the AMIs, the images it's still creating. Okay, so now you can see the image is created and the status is available. Now we'll move on to the next step. The next step includes going into the auto scaling column and launching a configuration. So what we'll do is, I can see I have not launched any configuration, so we'll just go into create launch configuration. So we have already created our AMI, so you don't have to create another AMI. Just go into my AMIs. You will see here the AMI that you have just created. Go into select. So select the free tier if you don't want the AWS to cost you any money. Then select a name. I'll be selecting as live server 1. Then don't have to request any spot instances. We'll just go to next, add storage. The storage 8 GB is sufficient for us. Go into configure security group. You can automatically configure or select an existing one. So as you can see, I have already created an auto scaling security group one, which consists of the HTTP port enable. So I'm going to select that and go for review. So this is the preview, and just go to create launch configuration. You can choose a new pair or go for an existing pair. I have an existing pair, that is the Amazon EC2 instance key pair. I'll be using it. I acknowledge that and then create launch configuration. Once you are done with this, you don't have to go back, just go into create auto scaling group, so that we'll be able to use it with the load balancer, which we'll be seeing in less time. Now the group name I'll be using it as server1 group, so it's easy to identify. Select the subnets that you have, minimum number of subnets that we'll be using. So now create auto scaling group. Here is the most important part that comes into picture. Okay, I forgot to mention, I'm gonna keep this limit to 2, so that our initial instances are 2. Now what is this? This is the most important feature that you have to configure during configuration. So I'm going to scale the EC2 instances between 2 and 2. The 2 is, this is the minimum limit, this is the minimum limit, and this is the maximum limit. The minimum limit is what we are doing here. Start with this is, we will be setting the minimum limit, and the maximum limit is 2 again. So what will happen is, 2 EC2 instances will get created. That is the copy of our actual EC2 instance, that was server 1, will get created. And the while when we'll configure the load balancer, so the target value is basically the percentage above which you want the EC2 instances to run. The instances need I'll be taking at 8 seconds, and let's move towards this thing. I don't need any notification. I'm not gonna, okay, I'm gonna add some key, so you can say server and this test 1, okay, and create auto scaling group. Okay, so you can see the group is created. You can go into view auto scaling group, and you can see the live server group is created, is now available. Now what we'll do is, we'll move towards the load balancer. Now, what is elastic load balancing? Now, elastic load balancing is a feature that automatically distributes the application traffic across multiple applications, containers, or hosted on Amazon EC2 instances. Say now, moving to the load balancer, what we'll do is, it will distribute the traffic basically. Now when we'll go to create a load balancer, you can see here, create load balancer. We'll get 3 types of load balancer. Now the classic load balancer is it consists of all the ports, that is HTTP like request, the HTTPS, and the TCP request too. When it comes to network load balancer, okay, it distributes the traffic based on network variables, which include the IP addresses, destination ports. When it comes to application load balancer, what it does is, it distributes based on the number of requests, that is HTTP or HTTPS request, that we get that we solve using the get and post methods. And HTTP load balancer basically works on 7th layer, that is the application layer, and the network load balancer, whereas it works on layer 4, that is the network layer. Classic load balancer works on both 4th and 7th layer. So for this tutorial, we'll go for classic load balancer. So I'm going to name it as classic 1, so it will be easy to identify. Then internal load balancer. Now you can use Amazon Docs to refer these terms, to know these terms more about them. Now what is an internal load balancer? If you are working in a company and do not want that the data should be exposed out of the company, then you will be needing an internal load balancer. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to make it available for you. This is the server 1 thing, so I'm going to make it available for you. So I'm not going to select it as internal. If you're not selecting it as internal, it will be the internet load balancer that is available for everybody. Then selecting an existing group, you can see here a classic open I have already created. The classic open has basic settings, that is the HTTP request will be in and out for the load balancer. Then here is the health check. The health check, here you have to enter the page that you will be requesting when the load balancer is accessed. I'll go with app, and this is the directory where my files are stored. I'll show you. Okay, done. Add EC2 instances. So EC2 instances, you can see here the 2 EC2 instances are all automatically created when we have created the auto scaling group. So auto scaling security group 1, this is automatically created. So we'll select these and we'll go to next, add tags. I'm not going to add any tags directly. I'll go to create. Our load balancer is created. You can access it using the DNS name, as it is not internal, so it can be accessed. So okay, the load balancer, actually the status of it, the instances are not being set till now. You can see out of service, So now as you can see, the status 2 out of 2 instances are running. The instances that we have selected, I'll show you the instances. As I told you, when you create the auto scaling group, the 2 instances automatically gets created because we have set the minimum limit to 2. Okay, so you can see here the 2 instances are in service. These are the 2 instances, not named it yet, so let's name it test 1, test server 1, test server 2. So it will be easy to identify for the auto scaling feature. Okay, so we can, as I told you, we can access our load balancer using the DNS name. Okay, come on. So as you can see, this is the index page, the index.html page. Okay, also we can access these servers. So this is the server 1 is what this open source app that I've already opened from the means it was already open from the start of the video. Now this is test server 2 and we'll see the test server 1. So as you can see, all the 3 servers are running. The 2 that are automatically created by the due to the auto scaling group. Now what we'll do is we'll get into picture the auto scaling feature, how it actually works. So what we'll do is we'll delete one of the instances. So we'll delete one of the instance, let's say test server 1, we'll terminate it. And what the auto scaling feature will do, the load balancer will automatically generate another one because we have set the minimum limit to 2. So another server will automatically get running. So it's shutting down. You can see here we have now 1 of 1 instances and the test server 1 has been terminated. This is just the test server 2. Now as you can see, a new server has started. This is not the test server 1. Test server 1 was automatically terminated and I haven't started the new I have not even created a new instance. So this is the new server that will be naming as test server 3. So we can see it in the load balancer. So here you can see the load balancer. It's not refresh. So now what we'll do is we can see the test server 3 is automatically running. So we'll just see if that is what is, and if that is the copy of our actual server 1. So we'll try to access it. So you can see it is running and it is the same copy as our actual app, that is this is the server 1 IP. So this is how the auto scaling feature works, that is based on the minimum and maximum number of EC2 instances that you provide. That's it. Thank you. Just remember to close all these instances and shut them or stop them so that you will not be charged. Thank you.